Action for the 15th time. Here we go. Start over, because I want you to have one good take. Just one take that's good. Welcome to Fordify, where we help you fortify your business. Now, each week, we pick a random topic chosen by the Fordify button. So let's see what this week's episode's gonna be about. Workplace culture. Catch or release disengaged employees. Yep, that's right. I want you to catch them if they're disengaged, and then I want you to release them. Or maybe you need to take a look at your workplace culture. Now, we've all been around someone in our workplace who just doesn't want to be there. Now, you can easily identify them just by listening to their language patterns. You see, disengaged employees are people that just don't seem to care about their position or the company. And you know what? They really have no intention in helping it grow, so they can be extremely damaging if you don't take action to improve them. See, there's really two places where you can work to improve your disengaged employees. And the first thing you really want to do is look at your workplace culture, because see, your culture is the character and personality of your entire organization. Now, once you feel like you've got your workplace culture, then you need to look at the individual employees. Look at their communication styles, their attitudes, and their behaviors. Let's cover a few common workplace culture issues facing many, many businesses today. They're dealing with decreased productivity, lack of quality, their employees just aren't innovative. They're dealing with misunderstood attitudes, relationships between coworkers, just plain old lack of motivation. They just don't seem to be motivated to get things done. They lack the initiative and certainly aren't participating in teamwork. And most importantly, they lack personal accountability. If you're dealing with any of these issues, you have to know that it starts with your workplace culture. It starts with your leadership. That's right, it starts with you. Maybe you need to look in the mirror. Now, a few years ago, I was dealing with a lot of turnover in my company, and I was at a mastermind event, and one of the people said, "Look, Ford, who's always at the scene of the crime? It's you." And he was right, it was me. I had good employees, but I wasn't leading them properly. What about you? Maybe the people that are disengaged on your team aren't disengaged because that they're not engaged, it's because you're not providing the culture where they can thrive. What kind of environment do you have for your employees? Now, I know right now I have kind of an open office environment. I have a lot of millennials on my team, and they love to collaborate and they like the open environment. Personally, I was happy when they were all in little cubicles, but they weren't happy. So it doesn't matter what I want, because happy employees produce better results. And then it comes down to trust. Are you trusting your employees? Are you creating a community of trust? Are you making it easy for them to communicate to you what their needs are, if they have a mistake, or if they have a question about something, or they make a mistake? I did the worst thing you can do. I actually had cubicles with cameras above all the cubicles at all the stations, because I thought that would help me monitor. And then I was dealing with people and they said, "No, Ford, no, that's just wrong." And everybody rebelled. I took the cameras out, went to an open office environment, and my productivity soared. So again, made some mistakes along the way, and I'm sure you've made a few mistakes too. Which brings me to procedures. What kind of procedures do you have in your company? Are they clearly identified? Can the people in each role, do they know what success looks like? And most importantly, what are you doing to reward them? Are you doing anything to celebrate the successes that they have? An important thing to think about is the generation gaps in your company. Now, in my company, I'm in my 50s. I've got a lot of people in their 20s. Well, think about you. There's Gen X, there's Gen Y, there's Gen Z, there's traditionalists, there's boomers. Who gives a shit? I don't care about all the different generation gaps. But you do need to know that each generation has been shaped by what was going on in their life when they grew up. So they're gonna think differently than you think, and you need to embrace the different styles, right? Which brings me down to communication. You need to make sure that you have effective communication in all directions, upline, downline, and crossline. How would you describe your workplace culture? Are you and your team members of the same mindset? Do you have the same perceptions? Do you have the same roles? Does everybody know what their role is, and are they clear what their role is on the team? And what about the goals? If you were to bring everybody together and ask them, what are the goals of your company? Would they all come up with the same thing? Not so sure. At least the companies I've dealt with usually can benefit by improving their workplace culture. If you have any employee that's not willing to help improve the company culture, you need to let them go. That's right, let them go. Free them up for new opportunities, fire their ass, get rid of them. Because they will drain the rest of your team and it'll just kill all of your productivity. Talk about disengaged. One disengaged employee can disengage the entire bunch, right? So here's your action step for this week's episode. Make a goal for your team, keep it small at first. Then decide how are you gonna motivate them individually and as a team, and then what are you gonna do to celebrate once they've reached that goal? That's it for this week's episode of Fordify. Tell me in the comments below, what have you tried to do in your organization to motivate and reward your employees? What worked and what didn't work? I want you to share this video with anyone struggling to increase their productivity with their teams and their company. And if you've liked what you've seen, make sure you subscribe to Fordify to be notified of upcoming episodes. Thanks for watching. See you next time on Fordify, where we help you fortify your business. What am I saying here? Are we happy, Sean? Because I'm just not feeling the love from you.
So much love.
Hello, who's there? And some people like to laugh at you and not with you. I thought the whole point was to be engaged. What's wrong with that? That's what you wanted. That was perfect.